Hello, my name is Tyler Rockwood. I want to demonstrate a agentic system running on Redpanda's agentic data plane. So what we have here is a multi-agent system that will execute trades and manage a customer's portfolio. So we're a multi-tenant system here. There are multiple different customers running, right? We store some of their different portfolio preferences and their risk profile or intolerance all in a database, which then is the agent will periodically, each agent will be run per customer, and it will run and do some research against using the MCP protocol to talk to Perplexity and figure out what news is relevant for that agent's profile or that user's customer's profile. And it uses our AI gateway to talk to and broker access to OpenAI for the actual LLM calls itself. And this agent runs its own identity, its own service account that it runs as, and is authorized access at every step of the way here for both the AI gateway. So this all is authorized over OIDC instead of using static credentials, for example. So once the agent determines, oh, this bit of news may be relevant for making some sort of trade, it will emit for that customer a signals on an asynchronous messaging channel. And when it populates this channel, the customer ID here is passed out of band. So the agent doesn't actually know it's working on behalf of Bob or Alice. It's actually just knows it's working on behalf of someone, and these are sort of their preferences. And when it's done, the system itself takes care of passing this metadata out of band. So when there's a decision agent that runs, it picks up signals, and then it implicitly knows the customer ID, but that is never surfaced to the LLM, to the agent itself. It's passed out of band when it goes to our trading platform, which is Alpaca in this case, and reads the portfolio. That gets passed out of band. So the agent actually doesn't know anything about the actual user itself. It just knows that these are their preferences, etc. Right? So customer ID gets passed through here, and then this MCP server will go and fetch the credentials using a shared secret store and actually go make the API request to Alpaca itself, right? And again, this decision agent and signal agent are separate identities, which means that the signal agent is not authorized to access Alpaca because it doesn't need to for its job, right? So we can finely scope the policies and the access controls that we want and govern these in a way. And the decision agent from there then makes a recommendation on a trade to make. If it's under some threshold, which is statically defined, not controlled by the agent, it doesn't even actually know about this, we'll go ahead and execute the order directly. Otherwise, we'll send it to for human review, right? And from here, you can approve. This is we can look at Charlie's dashboard, and we can buy some Amazon stocks here and buy some others here, right? So that gives an example of the platform itself. And throughout every step of the phase here, as this data is processed, there is collection of transcripts. So the infrastructure itself collects observability data, so you can see, audit, and eventually build things like evaluations, etc., on top of that same data of everything. And that's captured transparently by the infrastructure. The agent has no knowledge or control any of that's going on at all, but everything's being monitored. So we can see here some of the examples of a trace that gets collected as something moves through the system. This is just an example of a trace from the decision agent, right? It'll do things like make a chat request, which then goes to our API gateway, AI gateway, excuse me, and then which then ultimately ends up going directly, if you drill down here, to OpenAI when it makes a request, right? You can see here the different tool accesses. There's a tool access to get at the account. Again, the input here is nothing. There's no when you call get account, the account, its ID itself is passed out of band. It's not directed by the LLM. So you can see here that we go and make a request to get the account, and the customer ID is Bob, but we don't actually expose that to the agent itself, right? So it'll go look up the secrets, and then it will make the API request to the paper trading platform that we're using, right? And it'll do a few other things, look up stocks, etc., and it'll end up emitting a recommendation to execute some sort of trade. And again, we have this secret storage where we pass the credentials. The agent never sees any of this. This all gets injected by the infrastructure at various different levels during the request. You can see here an example of our AI gateway, and also our MCC servers are here. So anyway, happy to answer more questions. Thank you for watching.